You ever have those nights where you just can't sleep and you really don't know why and you can't go back to sleep? Yeah, I've had many of those. And I think that sometimes what's happening is that you're probably receiving some communication. That might be why you're really restless and you can't go back to sleep, because there's probably something that's attempting to be awakened within you. And so a lot of times when you just go with it and get up, you can figure out what that is. You do something and things come through. Well, I did that quite a bit in my life, and I'm going to talk about it. I posted something earlier where I said, I developed the most valuable thing that anyone could ever own. And I said it took me 35 years, and because it's that thing that takes you to who you're meant to become, your authentic self. But see, I did this also differently. I channeled it all. I downloaded it. I mean, I lived it all as well from everything that I've done and all the studying and everything. But this was the other aspect of it that made things different. When I talk about that, my work has healed me in physical ways that I couldn't even explain to you, and all those things, and you might have heard them in a Wilhelm channeling session. And then I said that I receive information and there's synchronicity that goes on. I talked about that even today, but I'm going to do a little bit more because a lot of times I will receive information and it's about dates. And the years might be different, but the dates are pretty much consistent. And I know that we're moving through some dynamic energy changes because I feel them. And so I know that I'm supposed to read this message now. The message is for tomorrow, July 18th. It's still the 17th, but I was moved to do it now because it's going to help someone, and especially people who might be going through a little bit of discomfort or with their family or friends or something like that. You may not understand what's going on because the energies are moving pretty quickly. So I thought I would jump out ahead and read this one for today, because I just want you to, we have to suspend our disbelief a little bit about what things are possible. Because when I talk about the way that I created all of this, it seems like it's really doesn't make sense. Even though the results show up, it's hard for us to accept that. And I get that because it's really difficult for me. And so that's why I have to do things like this. So I say, so I can kind of prove it. So I can just say, yeah, this is real. But you may be doing that as well, because that's what happens when you expand your consciousness. You go into different places that you couldn't even believe. But let's read this one because, again, I know it'll help someone, probably me. July 18th, 2020. So you see, it was 4 years ago. You may never sleep again. We thought that title might be somewhat intriguing at this time for many of you, but we are also using it both figuratively and literally. To Roger, it feels as if it might be his permanent reality due to how we have continually disrupted his sleep. We never do anything without purpose and reason. Yesterday, Roger was attempting to complete his online program, which has been in the works for years. He sat there yesterday with a problem he hadn't expected, and each of you will experience in your lives. Roger had so much information he had culled from us that he couldn't decide what to use. Part of that indecision was born out of his constant doubt and uncertainty, like you have experienced in your life. We will offer you things now that will make sense. We will also tie it into your current world events, as we promised we would. Roger took a break from trying to figure this all out and began listening to Napoleon Hill. We have mentioned the connection to Hill, which was perplexing to Roger. It became more prominent last night, to the degree Roger could no longer listen, and the amount of energy surging through his body became uncomfortable, so he went to bed. True to form, at 3 a.m., we awakened him. But this time we also had his roommate, who was currently thousands of miles away, send Roger a text containing a video that included information that the significance of which would not escape his awareness. In the video, two gentlemen went through a process, helping others discover themselves through owning their emotions. 30 years ago, we gave Roger something similar to which a friend inadvertently decided to take our words and turn them into calligraphy, which is framed and hangs on the wall beside him. Your emotions are not an end of themselves. They are designed to lead you to your beliefs. Your beliefs may or may not be based in truth. We took Roger on this journey to show him that he, like you, has always had everything he needed, and it would be called upon when the time was right, which is now. And the same is true for you. You each have held ideas about who you thought you were to be in this life, but now you are awakening to that truth of who you are. The conditions of the world are aiding you in your quest. Now we will explain our statement about the restructuring and the United States. If you take time to study the history of your world, over the centuries of which you possess records, you might read, of the records you might read, you will discover a pattern of evolution. Humans individually begin to awaken to who they are. Upon that realization, they begin to expect and even demand more for themselves. As we have said continually, you are all connected. So what you do individually adds to the collective. We will not make this a book today, for we will continue this conversation for a while, as your world will remain in this manner until you see the outcome you desire. Please make no mistake. We are using the collective view here. Each global shift you have made, you uncover more of your goal, which is unconditional love. The United States proclaimed itself the leaders of the free world, and you will restructure yourselves to achieve that goal. We told you you will be fine. And what that is meaning about the energies that are happening in the United States, and we've all felt it, but it's all over the world. So, but when we understand that everything is energy, that's how we heal, and that's how the world heals as well. And this is all the work that I've been given and all the work that goes into my program, because what I want more than anything else is for people to understand who they are, to understand what is possible and what they can achieve and what they can create, because then I know that's what we can create in our world. I've lived long enough that I've seen changes in society. I've lived through them, so I do understand. And I also know that when we take our focus and uplift our consciousness, then everything changes. And that's the work that I'm doing. So this is also why I'm doing the channeling session on Sunday. So I invite you to come there. And again, um, when you send questions, if you do come, I can answer all those questions. I do it in the session, and then there will be time because we have a longer session, and so you will be able to ask more and follow up and all that. That's why I've changed the structure there, and you can see what I mean about how much material I have. That's why I'm changing things, and I have not finished, and I'm just being completely honest because that was true. I knew that I had so much that I could give people in also so many different areas. And part of it was just unbelievable. Part of it was a little overwhelming, but now I'm doing it because it's way, way too important. I want people to know what they can achieve, and this is going to be the work that I will leave in this world. But so if you're not sleeping, you may be awakening to something. Kind of figure out who you are, kind of do some meditation, do something that gets you to calm, because we will have more energies moving as these changes continue. And as Wilhelm says, um, we will be fine. All right. See you guys soon.